Hey, greetings, clobberers, clobberettes. Welcome to Clobberin Times on YouTube now for a little over 2 years. And this is episode 400 and something. 406 on YouTube. 1106 overall. And welcome to Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk, where we are, of course, all month are celebrating Jack Kirby month. Celebrating the great king of comics. And we'll be doing a little bit of that this evening. It is so good to see you all. So great to have you all here with me tonight. It'll be just a casual hangout. Of course. Excuse me, of course. We'll talk about, various Kirby thingies, of course. I did pretty much sell that we'll be talking about, favorite Kirby characters, but we'll do a lot more than that too. I have some other things as well. It'll be wall to wall Kirby. No real show notes to speak of other than and I didn't make any art for it, but what? Okay, sorry, noise going on here. Where we at? What's going on here? I was having a bit of a computer problem. Sorry about it. Wednesday night, I couldn't remember for a second. I'll be on Loki's channel, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the return. We returned last week, actually, of the comic book roundtable with Loki, and someone will join us. We're not sure who yet. Maybe 24/7 will finally be going to join us. We don't know, but we will see. But we'll be talking some comics. We'll be talking about Image Comics this week. So we talked about Dark Horse Comics last week. So then we'll be doing that. And then, of course, after that at 9 p.m. Central, I will do my usual Wild Card Wednesday night. There will definitely be Wild Card, but Kirby, more Kirby celebrations. Let's see here. Thursday night, the clubhouse will be an hour later than usual, because I have I have family stuff I have to take care of. So 10 p.m. Central, a special late edition of Clobby's Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark. And, of course, Friday night, hanging out with Nick and the gang at the Friday Night Comic Shop with part 3, our final part of our 3-part review of the comic book from the 70s, the comic series, classic comic series, Nova, The Man Called Nova. 4 more issues of that. That'll finish us up reviewing that one with Nicholas and D-Bud and Pablo and Ironcaster, maybe even Fenrir. So that's been a lot of fun. Really been enjoying that the past couple of weeks. We will be ending that this Friday night. And, of course, Saturday Night Star Trek. Thank you, everyone who hung out with us Saturday night. Had a fantastic time, as always. You were all amazing. Really appreciate you. And 4 more episodes this week on Saturday Night Star Trek. Same Trek time, same Clubby channel. So looking forward to hanging with you all. And again, welcome to Jack Kirby month, folks. Let me say some hellos now to our wonderful friends who are with us here tonight. It's all great to see you all, man. J-Man's here. J-Man, buddy, what is up? Good to see you there, pal. I hope you were doing well. I cannot wait to hang with you again soon. Hopefully next Monday night, Mark D and I will be reviewing. I have a classic comics review of a Kirby of what maybe the greatest Kirby comic of all time. I hope. I forgot to mention that. We'll be reviewing Fantastic Four number 51. This monster. Looking forward to that. Listen here. Chat keeps jumping on me. Eric K, what is up? Rinser of Bronze, the Bronze Rinser. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. It's always good to see you, man. Man, this thing, what is this? What's wrong with this StreamYards chat? It's crazy. Phantom Outsider, what's up, Fanty? Good to see you. Quagnar, hey, buddy. Welcome, good to see you. The great Chris Persia, what's up, brother? Thanks for all you do. Eric, thanks for all you. Thanks for all that all of you do. D-Bud, you too. Thank you. And great to see you, buddy. Enjoyed hanging out with you at Nick's, and I'm glad to see you here as always, my friend. Hope you're doing well. The great Hungry to make some snazzy merch art soon. You were too kind. Man, it's good to see you. The great Hungry Boy is here. Hope you're doing well, buddy. The Super One himself, Cal Elf. What is up? Hope you're doing great, partner. Good to see you, Kimasabi. Let's see. Who else is here? Who else is, if anyone else is here? Dad Man. What's up, Dad Man? Lurking. That's okay. I understand. It's just good to see you, buddy. Hope you hear me, and hope you're having a wonderful time out there. Oh my goodness! Look who's here. Purple Valkyrie, the beautiful, the magnificent Purple Valkyrie, who had a wonderful stream earlier that I enjoyed listening to, talking about the Sand Person. If you were interested in getting the lowdown and a good review, an honest review, not a good review, but a review how bad that show, that new Netflix Sand Person show is, go check out. If you didn't hear it earlier, go check out the replay of Purple's channel on Rise of the Valkyries. There's a link in my description below. Please go subscribe to her channel, of course, also, and go check out the channel she did with Salty earlier where they were reviewing Sand Person on Netflix. Purple, great to see you. You got to come. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet on Kirby's birthday, which is a Sunday, but I'll give you a little advance if you want to hang with me, just we did last year on Kirby's birthday, celebrating the birthday of the King of Comics. Just if you're game, no big. It'll be in the daytime for me on a Sunday, hopefully. But I don't know what your schedule's like there, but I'll bug you about it when we get closer to it. If you're up for it. Well, we did covers last year. I've got some ideas. I'm not exactly sure what, but I will be I'll always stream on Jack's birthday, which last year was a Saturday. This year is a Sunday. So good to see you. Oh, damn, chat keeps jumping on me. Comic Relief Crusader, hey there. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Double C, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome, sir. Everyone, I'm trying to get the chat to catch up with me here. Oh, good. Well, Purple, I'll definitely bug you when we get closer to that. Because I had a wonderful time hanging out with you for Jack's last birthday when we did that Saturday epic where we looked at Jack would have been 104. We did 104 comics. Hail to the King, exactly. So, I'm going to talk about a few different things. I wasn't sure what to talk about. We definitely want to talk about Kirby characters, because, well, Jack Kirby created. I mean, I don't know if you could if it's possible to count all the characters he created. I mean, anything's possible, but it would be quite a task to count all the characters that he created. If you want, and slash some cases, of course. I'm counting co-creations, of course. Larry, what's up, buddy? Zachariah, hey there, Zachariah. Good to see you. And the King of Comics, I'm trying to remember who it was now. I remember reading somewhere or someone saying somewhere that Jack Kirby created enough characters to fill a whole army division. Well, in a sense, I don't know if it's that much, because that's I'm no military expert, but that's a lot of people. But he certainly created and when I say created, obviously in some cases they're co-creations, but that still counts. J-Man counted. No one's come close, I can tell you that. No one's come close. Jack Kirby created 11,459 characters. I just counted. Lol, says J-Man. Well, there you go. Yes, I know all about where the Nova story continues through Ramen and even in the Fantastic Four. They're fancy. We're going to definitely get to that for sure, but it's still been fun reviewing Nova on Nick's show. So, yeah, he's created quite a few, folks. This picture here doesn't even get the tip of the iceberg. It really doesn't. These are just some of his more famous ones. Oh, absolutely, Phantom. Hundreds of Inhumans, Eternals, and humans. Yeah. I was thinking maybe it might do a show about Kirby villains later in the month. Every year I try to vary it a little bit, do different things, different topics of that are. Yep. Dad Man says, hi, everyone. That I said hi. I was driving and about to go do so again. Hey, that's cool, man. Just glad you're out there. Be safe. Both hands on the wheel. Both hands on the wheel there, buddy. So, yeah, good to see you there. Where were I? Okay. But one of the things I was looking at today that kind of made me sidetrack that wish I'd done a different topic about Kirby is how prolific he was. But this is kind of, it's in a sense, does dovetail a little bit into the characters. By the way, when I'm not abandoning the character thing at all. Oh, okay. Comic Bruce said, finally watched that Kirby documentary. Loved it. Wow. Oh, yeah. The Kirby at War documentary is fantastic. Glad you enjoyed it. But one of these things I was looking at today, as you all know, I'm a big fan of the great website, Mike's Amazing World. And Dave, what's up, Dave? Good to see you. Here's something that I found interesting over there. The most prolific comic book artist. Now, again, this thing, basically they have a top creators category by category section. This report, it talks about basically the most prolific comic book people. Now, I narrowed it. When you narrow it down to artists, they've got Jack at number 5. But it's kind of nebulous, and it's not entirely, it's misleading. So it lets you change the search parameters a bit. You got penciler, inker, letter, color, blah, 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 whatever your name is on, it sums it up that way. So eventually there was a time, as Hungry Boy will tell you, there was a time when artists just had to do their own stuff, but then they started coming up with the idea of letting someone, having an artist for deadline concerns and other things, let it do pencil work and then let an inker come in. So you can refine this list to penciler. When you do that, they got Jack at number 2 behind Stan Goldberg. Well, I love Mike's Amazing World, but I call BS on this a little bit because when you click on Jack, it rightly shows, they have this writer, artist, writer, penciler. In other words, Stan Goldberg did a lot more, but all he did was, he did a lot of coloring stuff. Right, Hungry Boy. Whereas, so they're counting his colorist work, which conflates his numbers. So, with all respect to Stan Goldberg, who was, a competent person, and was around for a good while in the early golden age and into the silver and bronze, and he did a lot of work. Look, he did, he worked on. All this means is he worked on 21,888 pages. That means 3,776 stories. But that means he did coloring work and some penciling. But most of he did was he was a colorist. And somehow they're factoring in other things. So as penciler, because if you click on Stan Goldberg, They got artist, inker, pencil, artist. So shouldn't this narrow it down to penciler? That's what I narrowed the search down to, but it's got all kind of other stuff. So Kirby, to me, clearly is king on that too, because everything he did, he might have also participated. He did writing, he did inking, but he always did penciling. Kirby, I don't know if there's ever been a time, there was a couple of things. Blackest Night, hello there, good to see you. Oh, finally because of Gary. Oh, well, thank you. Why, did Gary mention me today? Blackest Night? It's welcome, Blackest Night. It's good to see you. Gary's an awesome dude. Hail Gary, by the way. So if you look here, I'm kind of disputing, excuse me, Stan Goldberg, nothing against him. So let's look at Jack. Jack produced 19,021 pages of comics over 45 plus years. 1,519 stories. And he did the bulk, and unlike a lot of these artists who just did pencils and nothing, and it's not sliding them at all. Most of these, he was always involved in the story and sometimes other aspects as well, the creating and everything about that. So Jack's the king of comics anyway. But I thought this was a pretty interesting list. Kurt Swan at number 3 makes sense. I mean, Jack's number 1 on here, so I'll cut it right there. Kurt Swan, John Buscema, John Byrne, June Colin. I mean, all these guys make sense. Can't believe Romita Jr. is higher than, has done more than Romita Sr. That's got to be wrong. I don't know if I buy into that. Where's Romita? Call BS. No way. I could see him being way down there. I mean, I don't think so. Don't tell me Romita Sr.'s not in the top. Romita Jr. at number 11. Come on. Wow. Huh. Also, certain times Kirby inked himself and did not care about the credits for that. That's exactly right. Although they, eventually they started paying for both. Hungry Boy JR doesn't do two-thirds of the lines his dad did, so maybe, I guess he's prolific. You get a lot, well, I guess. I mean, Romita did a lot of covers. I think it's probably true because Romita, now to think about it, Romita's the only Romita Sr. Sorry, I know they say JR is a nice guy. He did a lot of covers and a lot of other stuff. So, anyway, when you click on Jack Kirby here, excuse me, you go from his earliest work in 1938. Writer, artist. Always artist pencil, right? I mean, it's just insane. So let's go to when he to the back. This is an insane number. I mean, look how much work this guy did. And now they're putting some of his trades and stuff in there, but let's go with actual. I think the last actual comic, and I have this comic, he ever worked on was Phantom Force 1 and number 0 and number 2. Writer penciler. So, in my opinion, there's some there are some. I mean, some. This list isn't the best litmus test to truly put into perspective how prolific he was. So much so that it's not even. It's not. These numbers don't bear it justice. It's not even close. And so, if you worked on that many comics, you must have created a lot of characters. So, and this is just kind of, I'll throw it out there. I mean, and it's a simple question we talked about before. You all know my favorite Jack Kirby creation is The Thing. I mean, when I look at, because I've done this before on my show a few times where I've done, excuse me, a couple of times I've done the countdowns of my all-time favorite comic book characters in general. Well, put it to you like this. Of my all-time favorite comic book characters in general, I'll just do the top 25 alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, okay. Right there. So about, hey, Hungry, Matthew Pounder, good to see you. All right, so let me double check that here. A 1. Hey, wow. There we go. 1, 1, 2. Oh my God. So basically, and I put my characters, my favorite characters, comic characters of all time. I've done that before in here because we're talking about Kirby characters tonight. Wow. My top 25 alone, something like 17 or 8 are Kirby creations. So I think it's 17 there. I Phantom Outsider, give or take. So yeah, 68%. If I thought about it, I would have counted my whole 100 to see how many are in there. I'm sure a whole bunch more are in there because I did my 100 characters one time. And if you did like lists, people's all of their favorite comic book characters, the most popular favorite comic book characters. I remember somebody once said that all the greatest comic book characters, in terms of, now let's be, clear about the big two, superheroes and stuff, mainly those genres. All the best ones were created before 1970. That's been said. That doesn't mean there are no good ones after 1970, so don't even start in about that. All I'm saying is that the majority of the greatest ones, especially when it comes to, comic book characters of superhero genre, stuff like that, were created before 1970. So now Kirby did some great ones after that. Let's see, except for maybe one of the Eternals right here in Darkseid and Orion and Mr. Miracle. The Demon, Olmec. In other words, you have some characters that were post 70s right here. Commandy. So Kirby did some great ones in the 70s, but all the greatest ones really were before 70. Yeah, Phantom might say before 70, man. I mean, I have to agree with it. That doesn't mean there are no great characters after 1970, but all of the legendary superheroes, all of the biggies were created before 1970. Except for some of the new X-Men like Wolverine. Who, whether you like Wolverine or not, I think he's okay. I'm not the biggest Wolverine guy. He's definitely one of the ones, and just in terms of popularity, that's not to slight any character created after 1970. The point being is that the superhero genre, almost everything had been done and even redone and done again before 70. And maybe half of it was done by Kirby. I mean, not half necessarily, but a lot. Hungry Boy says, Clobby beat us to the pre-1970. Get rid. Let's see here. So much so, when I try to think of characters after 1970, there are a few that I love. But, yeah. And so Kirby, and yet Kirby created some great ones. My point being is that Kirby created some great ones after that. What's up, Maddie's daddy, Steve Mitch? I'm good to see you there, bro. Hope you're doing better, buddy. Hope you're feeling well. How's it going, man? So characters that Kirby created after 1970 that are, I mean, are they still as great as someone like FF and Thor and the Avengers and stuff like that? I don't know, but at least right here you got some of them. That's right. That is absolutely correct. The Hungry Boy created the original Vision. So in the 70s alone, you had his Fourth World. He did create one. I'll tell you one character that he created that was probably that goes down with rivals in terms of popularity and enormity for DC. One of the greatest villains of all, Darkseid. Obviously, whereas opposed, he's created great character. He created Doctor Doom and Galactus, you know, the Frightful Four. Actually, he added another character he didn't create into the Frightful Four, but you get my point. But as far as at DC goes, even his best Fourth World characters, except for Darkseid, aren't as well known as the characters he did for Marvel. Turning Atlas into Marvel. So, what I want to do is I want to get anybody, if you know, give me your top three. Just pick three. It don't have to be in any order. Anybody, and I'll start it and I'll read them all once we get them. Favorite Kirby creations, and it doesn't have to be from before 1970. It can be anywhere. Although he didn't create much after 1970, except again, like I said, the Fourth World stuff. Commandy's great, and I mean characters. I hear you there, Hungry Boy. Good one. Oh dear, oh dear. And once I get him, if you guys want to do that anyway, then once I get him, I want to talk about because that's what the show's kind of named tonight. It's like, what are your favorite Kirby creations? And don't worry, I'm not Stan. I definitely give credit to anyone who was a co-creation or what have you. First, what I will do is I want to take a look at my poll here that I have up on in the chat. It says, which Kirby topic do you prefer? Kirby cartoons that could have been, Kirby's greatest splash pages, Kirby's fourth world, or Kirby's most obscure comics. It's interesting that they all, it's a very close race between all of them. Right now in the lead at 29% is Kirby cartoons that could have been. And what that means, of course, is he was working for Ruby Spears a lot later in his career. And other than the only one he got to really work on that happened was Thundar the Barbarian, a great cartoon. But he planned tons of others. I have the card set about that. That he had so many other ideas that didn't get made. Tied for second is Kirby's greatest splash pages and Kirby's most obscure comics. And in third at a respectable 21% is Kirby's fourth world. I'm shocked there. I thought that would be be number one. A world made of cardboard. For when did he create the most characters? For when or for whom? For when did he create the Marvel or DC? You mean who did he create the most characters for, Marvel or DC? It's tough to say. Probably Marvel. I'd say Marvel. He was with him a lot longer. As far as, and then he went back to him. Matthew voted most obscure. So if we were doing most obscure, for example, that would be like in the days of the mob and Spirit World and stuff. Did anyone start putting any characters yet? Because I gotta put my chat back a little bit, see if anybody put any characters. Put 3 if you can, but you don't have to. I had my eyes up the yes, co-creations count, Dave, because some of his co-creations are just his creations. Let's see. So we have a few. Okay, so well, okay. So all right, a few people put a few things. So here we go. All right. J-Man says Cyclops, The Thing, and Captain America. There you go, bro. They're on my list. Phantom Outsider says Captain America. D-Bud says Doctor Doom. Hungbush says Big Barda was a fab character in all fronts. She was huge and hard and fab in her look. Well, yeah. Yes, she was fantastic. Yeah, no question about it. Kal-El says Captain America, Guardian, and New Gods. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Matthew Patterson, Machine Man was very cool. I like Machine Man. Man, it's just incredible. Obviously, it's no brainer that The Thing is my favorite. Duh. So it's not going to be a lot of shocking surprises for you to know who my favorites are. Let's see, comics. So there we go. Number one, the Arch. Yeah, there we go. So, obviously, in my number one, well, got any more? Hang on, let's see. Machine Man, Captain America, Hank Pym, and Surfer. Oh, yeah, yeah. Forgot Hulk. How dare you forget Hulk? J-Man. What the hell's wrong with you forgetting Hulk, boy? Jesus Christ. Okay, so it happens, J-Man. Well, look, he's just a great character. All right, so my top 10 alone. Well, let's see. Apollome's Minion and the Pepperoni. Zach Roach says Wolverine, Rogue, and Spider-Man, but we're talking about Kirby characters, my friend. Jack Kirby creations. Although technically Spider-Man, Kirby did propose Spider-Man to them. It's just he was later taken and redone and everything. And he actually wrote the proposal on Spider-Man. And then it was later taken over by Stan, and then Ditko got hold of it, and Ditko chased it. So he did have something to do with the creation of Spider-Man. But no, Wolverine and Rogue. Now we're talking about Jack Kirby creations here, my friend. But thank you for being here. It's good to see you. All right, so my top 10 characters alone. The Thing, Kirby character. Captain America is my number. So my number 1's a Kirby character, but number 4 is a Kirby character. My number 7. Excuse me. 6, 7, 8. My number 8 and my number 10. Mr. Fantastic and Hulk Kirby characters. So that's 1, 2. So 4 of my top 10 are Kirby characters. Yeah. Well, of course, that was a list made for heroes, by the way. I mean, because we're going to do, I think I'm going to do a show about Kirby villains. I'll see if I can get Purple to hang out with me for that one. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Who knows? But I guess we could do it for the birthday show. But I'm not sure what I have in mind that for Jack's birthday is the 28th. That's a Sunday. So I'm not precisely sure what I'm going to do for that one. But it'll have something to do with but I do want to do a show about the villains. Purple likes that. She's a big fan of villains. Which Purple? That makes me wonder about you. What's wrong with Purple? Are you evil? I think Purple's evil, folks. Because she likes Dr. Doom. He's a great character, though. I mean, yeah, again, when you talk about the villains, Dr. Doom, Galactus, Darkseid, it's insane. They're just so good. They're just so good. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I was having a bit of a technical difficulty there, folks. I apologize. There we go. So my number, my 11 through 15, 1, 2, 3 Kirby characters: Human Torch, Invisible Girl, and Thor. So my top 20. Couple more, no Kirby characters at the end there, but so that's in my top 20. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nobody in that other rung there. Which character type did he make best, heroes or villains? Oh, there's no question to me. He made, I don't know, he did villains very well, for sure. World Made of Cardboard, but obviously he did more heroes. I mean, people do gravitate more toward heroes. No, Steve, he didn't create the Thor myth, but he created the Marvel version of Thor. No, I mean, he didn't, create the myth from Norse mythology. No, but the Donald Blake version, yeah, he did that. And then so when I say creation, I mean definitely Thor's his comic book creation. I mean the comic book version of the Donald Blake, Thor. Yeah, that's him. But you know what I'm talking about. So yeah. Anyway, so the top 25, that's set. The top 25 has 7. Then here's 1, 2, 3 in that one. So it's 10. 10 of those. 10 of the top 25. I had to make sure. Yes, Dave, I love Etrigan. But Galactus is evil? He is a force of the universe. Well, he's evil in a sense. I mean, see, there's the thing. People say he's not evil. He's just a force of nature. I don't know. I think he's evil. Because he could easily go to if the surfer, if he didn't wipe his mind, Surfer would have led him to planets that didn't have people on them. But Galactus didn't give a crap. So it's pretty scary. So what are you going to do? Anyway. Without question for me, his characters, excuse me. I'm not so sure about that, Phantom Outsider. That's not true. There's some evil people that still give their word as their bond. I don't think that matters. It's still evil when you're just going to destroy people. When he doesn't have to. When you're destroying intelligent beings, when you don't have to, he could find other energy sources. Yeah, you're evil. And now, again, you could say he's not so much evil as he's indifferent. He thinks he's so much better. But tell that to the people he's annihilating. He just thinks he doesn't acknowledge the rights of sentient beings. He thinks because he has more power, they're nothing. They're just not even, they're insignificant to him. And I think that's a form of evil. Matthew Powder says the villains were psychologically fascinating. Dr. Doom had body dysmorphia. Mole Man, agoraphobia. Yep. And he suffers, one of them's going to suffer from fistophobia. Sorry. Just a quote from him. Let me tell you something. Galactus was a dang a-hole. I am Galactus. Fear me. I love that Silver Surfer cartoon of the late 80s. Excuse me, late 90s. Except they have one weird part about it. I'm sure you've all seen it. Well, no, I'm not sure you've all seen it, but many of you have probably seen it. One mistake they made was one of the weird things about that cartoon. And J-Man, I love the cartoon, by the way. But the one thing that was weird about it was Galactus would laugh. That laugh, Doran Rad. You are making me laugh my ass off. I'm like, wait a minute. What is this laughing crap? Galactus doesn't have a sense of humor, unless, of course, although Hercules found a sense of humor, but Hercules did make him laugh, come to think of it. But still, I don't know. That was kind of weird. Oh, Hungry Boy, that's it, Clobby. Just go ahead and change my mind about Galactus like RM changed my mind, read the Orville. No, I would not dream of such a thing. Yeah. The cartoon was fantastic, though. I loved it. Yeah. I guess, Phantom. Hear me, Boogie. Why are you Galactus' Jabba? So who is all right? Doctor Doom's number one, and I'm going to do another villains list one of these days, like I did before. But who is your? Does anyone? All right, since we're not going to call Galactus evil, leave him out. You know, J.D. Lewis, I think you might be right. DC Fontana, I think, did write a Silver Surfer. I know Harlan Ellison did. The boot grabber. Who's your favorite Kirby villain except for I'm gonna leave out the easy ones. Let's leave out Doctor Doom. You can't pick Doctor Doom. You can't pick Galactus, whether you think he's a villain or not. You can't pick Darkseid, and you can't pick. We're gonna leave those. Those are so. I mean, obvious. We're gonna leave those three guys out. Give me 2 or 3 if you want. Put them in the chat. Favorite Kirby villains, because even I have trouble with this one. Because if you can't pick the big 3 there, the low hanging fruit. Because whether you think Galactus is a villain or not, is beside the point. He's a menace that they fight. He's not on their side. So, who do you like? Atoma? You like? Hunger Boy likes Atoma. Yeah, that's a good one. It's not Atoma. Let me see here. Damn, I don't know if I could pick. Baron Zemo, yeah, that's a good one, Phantom. Baron Zemo, Red Skull, Phantom wins the day there. Are humans evil for stepping on bugs? No, but Galactus doesn't have to step on the bugs either. Matthew, it's proven that Surfer before he took his mind away, as Norrin Rad was going to take him to planets with no people. Okay, we're getting some good ones. I'm starring them. Then I want to take a look. Start throwing Kirby villains out there, folks. Obviously, I'm gonna do a show about it, but I'm just saying. I just want to see what you think. Because I think that might be one fun to do with Purple, if she's game. So Kirby villains. I wouldn't. Well, I know Scarlet Witch became a villain later, but that was that John Byrne shit. Look, I got to be honest with you. I can't stand that stupid shit where just for me personally, I can't stand when Byrne turned Scarlet Witch evil. I think it's bullshit. And here's why I don't like it. We'd already had a Dark Phoenix saga. Why did we need another one? Why did we need that to be the same thing? Oh, there you go. Now you're talking, D-Bud Martin. I don't know if I can pick a favorite. That'd be tough. Huh. Wow. That's toughy. So we're getting some good ones here. Huh. Let's see here. Well, it's gotta be, I'm trying to think I don't know who I would pick. Yeah, Phantom Outsider. Unfortunately, Kirby didn't create the leader. I think it was Ditko with Stan. But only if I remember right. Anyway. But you guys are picking some good ones, some gooders. The Yancey Street King. Wingless was. Oh, there's a good. Okay, so we got some good ones here. I think we got some. Oh, we got there. We got some good ones. Some gooders here. Yeah, yeah. Right. Yancey Street. Okay, so let's see. Now you're talking. I like that, Chris Persia. The Watchers, yeah, well, they do let a lot of things happen, don't they? Okay, I'm gonna. Well, and the Dave, I excluded Darkseid, Galactus, and Doctor Doom because they were so easy. By the way, just for this exercise here. Just for this particular exercise. If you know what I mean. All right. Okay. Willie Lumpkin, get out of here. Damn, Phantom Outsider with a. Okay, let me see what all these ones I've start here. So my eyes are off the chat for a second here, folks. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly just go. A lot of you, both Phantom Outsider and J.D. Lewis mentioned Baron Zemo and the Red Skull. Those are fantastic, great. Yeah, Red Skull's got to be a top one. Loki, indeed. D-Bud for sure. Yep. Hungry, yes. Psycho Man. I love Psycho Man. I like the way you think, Matthew Banner. Glorious Godfrey. Oh, goodness. J-Man. Yes, Magneto. And the Wizard. Yep. Great choices. D-Bud, man. Super Skrull's one of my favorite. Again, yes, J-Man, absolutely. Wingless Wizard. Just the Wizard. Yep. Maximus. Good one, JD Lewis. Good one, Phantom Outsider. The Yancey Street Gang. Fin Fang Foom. Well done, Hungry Boy. And yes, the Destroyer, definitely D-Bud. No Perps like Psycho Man. She likes horror story. Yeah, Psycho Man's great. Mangog, yeah, that's a good one. Pace Pot Pete. Chris Persia wins the day. Mangog again. No one did I miss it or did anyone pick Puppet Master? Or Kang? Or Enchantress? Oh yeah, Phantom Outsider put Enchant. I just looked over. You got Enchantress right there. Okay, good. There you go. Absorbing Man, great one. Yeah, Kang was the Kirby creation. Yeah. So yes. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess we'd have to say, folks. I think we're gonna have to pick. Say that Pace Pot Pete is definitely the great, not just the greatest Kirby villain. Mortis, yep, that's a good. Pace Pot Pete's probably the greatest. Oh yeah, Annihilus, that's a great one there, Chris Parker. Thank you. But Pace Pot Pete wins the day. Pace Pot Pete is the greatest villain Kirby ever created. I think we could all. I mean, we got a consensus on that, or what? All right, J-Man, take it easy, buddy. Have a good one, man. But yeah, Magneto's a great one. J-Man mentioned Magneto. So, I mean, he's got just a string of villains that are incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Because again, it's always easy to name the heroes. It's always easy to name the heroes for sure, but yeah. So yeah, I'm loving Pastepot Pete later became the Trapster. We just kind of make fun of that ridiculous name, World Made of Cardboard. He later joined the Frightful Four. Did anyone mention Invincible Man? That's kind of a not really. I'll tell you one that was kind of that was not all that. I don't know. They kept trying to do something with him. Was El Diablo. He wasn't much though. Who likes the Hate Monger? Hate Monger. Someone mentioned the Destroyer already. Huh. Red Ghost Super Apes. Yeah, I like that with Phantom Outsider. Absolutely. Super Adaptoid Mad Thinker. Good ones. Yes, Phantom Outsider. Absolutely. Good ones. Top notch of you there, sir. Vanisher. Yeah. Vanisher. Oh my. Vanisher look, is okay. Vanisher was oh boy. Vanisher didn't look, he looked cool, but Vanisher was pretty silly. Let's just be honest. Oh yeah, Bolivar Trask and the Sentinels. Yeah, that's good too. That's good too, Phantom Outsider. Did he? I don't know if he created Mimic or not, but he may have been off the book by then, so can't remember. He Hella for sure there, buddy. Yeah, World Made of Cardboard. El Dorado was on Super Friends. No, El Diablo was. I'm kidding about the L part. He's just Diablo. There was a character called Diablo. I mean, I just always accidentally say L in front of it. My bad. It was an FF villain. Maximus, like I said, yeah. The Silver Surfer is galactose intolerant, says Steve Mitchum. Good one. Grey Gargoyle. Was Grey Gargoyle Kirby? I think he was, yeah. Wow. The Sentry Sinister. Oh, Ronan. Larry, that's a good question. What is the best biography book of Kirby? I would have to think about that, man. I have a couple of them. I have a couple different ones. That, sir, is a great question. I'd have to think about it because I know I have a bunch of them in there, but I have to go look. Larry, let me give me some time to think about that if you would, and keep on me about it. Circus of Crime, Masters of Evil, of course, has a bunch of good ones in there. Top three. Well, again, I have to think of which one. It's been a while since I've looked at. I have this one called Kirby Power, I think. World Made of Cardboard. Did he create a Spider-Man villain? No. Most of them were created by Ditko and Lee. He created Funky Flashman. Yeah. King of Comics is one. Larry, there was a book. Yeah, thank you, JD Lewis. One called King of Comics. That's a good book. I have like 2 or 3. Oh, Kirby. I mean, I have a few, more than a few Kirby books, but Maddie's Daddy says Midnight Run. That's a great movie, Midnight Run. What makes you say that? What makes you mention that? I love that movie, by the way. MODOK. Thank you, MODOK. Okay, yes, hell yeah. There you go. There you go. I think I already mentioned Hate Monger. Phantom mentioned Red Ghost. Oh, Claw. Claw's a great villain. Arnim Zola, yeah, there you go, Hungry Boy. Claw's really good. Oliver Belamonte, hey there, good to see you. He said, I'm glad Jack Kirby created Sorceress Morgan Le Fay and the Cobra for the DC Comics. Well, Morgan Le Fay, of course, comes from, literature, from the Camelot stuff. But yes, he did use her. Very interesting, of course, for the demon and stuff. But yes, Cobra, there's an interesting series we didn't even think of. Oliver Belamonte, thank you for mentioning that. Cobra with a K for DC Comics. Did any of you read that series? Can't remember how many episodes, how many issues it lasted. But Cobra was interesting because he was a villain. It was a comic about a villain, Lord Naga. And he had his own series. And I can't remember how many issues that lasted. Oh, yeah, Sentinels. Someone mentioned Sentinels. Yeah. Oh, I think he did create, I think he did at least co-create Juggernaut, though. Yeah. The Blob. Okay, how many issues did Cobra run? I'm glad you mentioned that, Oliver Belamonte. I didn't even think about that one. That was an interesting series. I didn't get them all. Let's see here. How many issues did this thing run? But it was a comic about a villain. Yeah, Impossible Man was 8 issues. Okay, thank you. Only 8. Wow. Could have used that one today. Crazy stuff. Mighty Orbots. The Wrecking Crew. That's a good one, Mighty Orbots. Welcome, Mighty Orbots. Good to see you. And you comes in swinging. With a really good, the Wrecking Crew is fantastic. Yeah. Someone already mentioned Absorbing Man. Ronan, and I mentioned Ronan the Accuser, Phantom. Yes, last story was in DC Special. That's true, Cobra. DC Special 1. I don't think Kirby did every issue of that though. If I'm thinking right. I don't think he did every issue of that. DC Special number 1. Let me check. Now I got to know. Shite. Well, I can't remember. Oh well. So much for that. Anyway, that was an interesting comic. Oh, you know what? Wow, Hungry Boy just man, I can't believe us leaving out the first Marvel villain, Mole Man. Yeah, we did mention Immortus there, Hungry Boy, but you nailed it by mentioning Mole Man. I can't believe. And I mentioned this. I did mention the Sentry Sinister, the Kree Sentinel. Yeah. But wow, I think we covered all the biggies. It's funny how we all went to Marvel because since I excluded Darkseid, what other villains did he create at DC that's memorable? I mean, Calabac and Desaad worked for Darkseid. Granny Goodness, yeah, But other than that, other than those, You know what I mean? Well, what are you gonna do? But like I said, I did mention Immortus, who later, was supposed to be tied in with a basically kind of tied in with Kang too. When you mentioned Kang, you kind of mentioned Immortus. Well. Oh yeah, that's true. Tyrannus that we were talking about the other night, D Bud, or last week. That's a Marvel character. Well. And what you gonna do? There we go. Well, let me take a look at our poll that we have up there and see how we is doing. So many votes we have. Takes a second for it to refresh, everybody. And then I will show you some other cool stuff. Takes a second. Oh my God. All right, here we go. Oh boy, my goodness, slow ass computer. Sorry, everybody. Okay, we have 30 votes. Okay, that's pretty good. The question being, what Kirby topic do you prefer? And tied for first place is Kirby cartoons that could have been. And it's tied with Kirby's most obscure comics. Wow, I made a comeback. It was at the bottom. And then tied for second place, Kirby's greatest splash pages and Kirby's fourth world. Wow. Going crazy there. Yeah, Matthew Pounder, House Roy. I know Roy didn't appreciate that too much. Tyrannus is a wackadoodle, D-Bud, that's for sure. Pretty close stuff there. Who will prevail? Who will prevail? Wow. You could hear my ceiling fan? I don't have a ceiling fan, D-Bud. I mean, I have a fan sitting on the desk. You tell me you could hear that? I've had it forever. I never turn it off. It's always been in here. So are you hearing the squeaking noise? Was it like a squeaking noise thingy, maybe? Definitely not a ceiling fan, though. I wish I had a ceiling fan. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I got a little fan on my desk, but that's all. No one's ever mentioned hearing it before because I can't even hear it. Now the squeaking, just a little while ago. Oh, the squeak was coming from our dryer, and my son went and put his clothes in the dryer, which is right next to my room, and I didn't disabuse him of doing that while I was on the air, and I just said, "Well, what the hell? I don't think anybody can hear it." And you guys could hear it. So it does that when it first gets started. It's old. That's true. I have no fans. Nobody likes me. I told you that before, though. Let's see here. Let's look at some. Let us see. What is on my? I should have pulled this up before the show. I'm so lazy and I'm so unorganized. How about a little vamping music? I've got two legs from my hips to the ground, and when they move them, they walk around, and when they lift them, they climb the stairs, and when they shave them, they ain't got hairs. I've got two. There we go. Sorry. Sorry. Well, that's weird. Trying to find something to put up on the screen there. Let's see. He's doing his own chores, not mine. I can't remember if Kirby's revamp of Big Jim had villains. Well, he did do ads for Big Jim, yeah. Well, no, yeah, they did have a villain called the Intruder, but I didn't draw that one. Oh, dear. All right, I had something I wanted to show, but I got to find it first. Sorry. So sorry. Well, shooting in the dark here. All right, maybe that's it. Wow. Oh, just by the way, 2 more days to my Dave Cockrum book comes in. Where are you? Where are you? Right behind you. Oh, that's the old one. I see what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, you got to go way back in time here. I'm looking for a book. With a digital version. I'm going to find for the year it came out. There we go. I think I found it. I was going to show you all. I mean, this is still on point because it's one of Kirby's greatest creations. And it looks like I got it, but I lucked on it. I have so many of these on somebody in my file at tomorrow's. So that'll load up there. Apologize for that, folks. Looking for stuff, Larry said, Clobby, if you met Jack Kirby in his prime, what would you ask him? Well, when I met him, he was already retired. I met him twice in 1986 and 1990. And as you can see in the top left corner of this picture, that's me and Jack Kirby in 1990. And Larry, I asked him so many things. I'd have to, in fact, I need to probably do an episode where I talk about some of the things I asked him. I got to remember. It's been so long now. In 1990, I got to spend a lot more time with him and his wonderful wife, Roz. And I asked him so much stuff. But, of course, that was my dumbass 20s. When I first met him, I was, I was like almost 22 years old. And when I next met him, I was 26 years old. So that's my dumbass. Well, I'm still a dumbass, but I mean, even more of a young dumbass. Now, my goodness, if I could go back and talk to him now. But see, you don't want to necessarily meet them in their prime. You want to meet them later when they've had time to think about it. To think about their career and think back. So, I don't know, at least in their prime or right after it. So, let's see. I would probably ask him. Well, he told us some war stories. He told us some stories about adventures at the Marvel offices. He told us some stories about how He and Joe Simon, when they first started putting out Captain America at the Timely office, a bunch of neo-Yazis threatened him, and he wanted to go down there and fight him. Jack grew up as a tough kid on the street, in the streets down Hell's Kitchen. He didn't, he was before he was ever Jack Kirby. He was Jakob Kurtzberg, and he didn't take no guff off nobody. And he wanted to go fight those dudes. They wouldn't let him because there were a whole bunch of them. And of course, later he channeled that energy, went and fought in the war. But I would ask him. See, there's probably nothing I would ask him that everyone hasn't asked him 100 times, but that's just the way it is. I'd probably just ask him about different. I definitely ask him a lot of questions about the Thing. That I can give you. Oh, absolutely. Kirby at War is about. You've seen it, Steve? It's amazing, isn't it? I didn't know you. I don't know you watched that. It's incredible stuff. So, talk about recommending a book. If you're a Kirby fan and if you're a Fantastic Four fan, this is, and I think it's not too difficult to get. This book is one of the greats. As you know, I can't get enough of Tomorrow's publications. I just love them. And I'm always going on about them. This book it basically it's called Lee Kirby the Wonder Years. Actually, even though it's in paperback form, it is considered to be an issue of the Jack Kirby Collector. In other words, it's numbered as such. It's the Jack Kirby Collector number 58. It came out in 2011, 2012. But, and you could, I don't know if they're out of it or not. If they're out, they got it. You can get it. At least you can still get the digital because I have it. Even if you can't get the physical copy. Now, some places you can probably eBay or something like that. I don't know. In fact, it's not that expensive if you order it from someone who has. But I think Tomorrow's themselves, they're out of copies of the physical. But you should, even if you could just read the digital, this book tells the story of the entire Kirby Lee run of the Fantastic Four. And before that, it gives you a lot of background. You talked about Larry, you were talking about, Kirby biography. This gives you a pretty good bit of background on both Stan and Jack. Like I said, it was around 2011 or something like that. Now, tragically, the gent who wrote this book, not before it was published, in fact, and he wasn't that old. He passed away. And it's called Lee Kirby, The Wonder Years. And it does talk a lot about just the whole story about what went on, what was going on behind the scenes. And it was written by Mark Alexander, who, again, like I said, sadly passed not too long after, I think even before this was published, if I understand right, if I remember correctly. And it's a phenomenal book. I love it. J.D. Lewis, oh yeah, there's Private Strong. Oh yeah, absolutely. What this covers everything. Including the years, a good bit of what went before. So, if you're a Fantastic Four fan and you love comics history, Kaylee Chow, Roll Tide, good to see you. I cannot recommend this book enough. No question about it, Hungry Boy. Reed, was the best. It was Jack's. I mean, yeah, Jack was the ultimate when it comes to that stuff. Oh, yeah, absolutely isness. Oh, look at poor little Stan. But let's not look at Stan long. Let's look at Jack. There's the man right there, the real man, the man. There's Jack, folks. There you go, the great hero. In every sense of the word. Private Kirby. Incredible. Man, just an unmatched imagination. Let's see here. The knockoff champion, Martin Goodman. You want to see young Stan without a mustache? There you go. Oh my goodness, this. Kirby was in Europe. Germany and France and I'm pretty sure Europe, right, Steve? Definitely Europe, not Pacific. He almost lost his legs due to frostbite. Crazy stuff. There's your Private Strong right there, JD. And the Fly. For Archie Comics. And what about Stan without the rug? Oh. It's just as weird as seeing young Gary without the beard. Yeah, I guess so. Fat Outsiders says, what it wasn't it that Kirby's first day at War he had to go hand to hand. I don't know the first day or not. I'm not sure. I can't remember that. It might have been in the movie and I just forgot because it's been a couple years since I watched it. But I don't know for sure. It could be Phantom. He was in combat. The days of Dr. Doom. Dr. Droom, sorry. I don't want to show the whole thing, of course. Well, you got it's all, it's reading material. It's not like just not a lot of pictures, but so And then this, what's great about it, it gives a very detailed analysis of every issue from 1 to 102, all the whole Kirby Lee run. Old age plus toddler, time to go to bed. Have a great night. Steve, I hope you're feeling better, bro. Go have a fantastic rest of your night. And take care, man. Keely Chow says, speaking of Gary, I hope he shows off some nice comic books that Jack Kirby worked on tomorrow on the Real BBC. Is he planning on doing that? Is Gary talked about that, Keely? I hope he does too. I don't know if Gary mentioned it. Has Gary talked about that though? About Jack Kirby lately? I did watch some of Gary today, but I didn't get to see it all. Oh, I got you. All right, well, I didn't get to see all of his show today, but I saw some of it. I always watch as much as I can. Yeah, there we go. The big man himself, Dr. Victor Von Doom. He's not nice, is he? Vivacha. More great Kirby creations. Now there you talk about fabulous Flo Steinberg there. Look at Flo. Go with the flow. Thing jumps on me. I had Flo. Oh, there we go. All right, there's Flo. Hubba hubba indeed. Yo, Flo. Fabulous Flo Steinberg. Nope. Still no comment from Irving Forbush. Yeah, look at Medusa. Wow. Gotta love Medusa, huh? Oh my goodness. Seeing Flo means I gotta renew my blood pressure meds. She was a sweetie. Yeah. Great stuff. What a great run. This is look. And I should, and maybe great Kirby runs. This is without question, even though, yes, later at the end of this run, he wasn't, giving us all, he was ready to leave. This is without question, in my opinion, and maybe I'll do a show just about that. As far as runs go, his greatest run on any series. I mean, obviously not everybody's a Fantastic Four fan. I get it. So there'll be some people that it's not their, not their number one Kirby series. Perfectly fine. But what series did he do longer than this? There's none, I don't think. Of course, he did the thing closest. I think the one he comes closest to of doing as long as Thor. Did Thor for a long time, that's for sure. Hey, by FF 998, Jack had his reasons. We all know why. Oh yeah, it was even a little bit before that. But hey, he knew he was getting the hell out of Dodge. But as far as this is 102 issues. I'd say it's his greatest run ever. Of course, that's just my own personal opinion, mind you, but I think it's his greatest run. It's and one of the greatest of all time, no matter what. Which begs the question: when you talk villains, aside from Doctor Doom and Galactus, I mean, again, what's your favorite FF adversary besides Doom and Galactus? Mole Man, the Frightful Four, Super Skrull, Annihilus, Blast Star, Sentry Sinister, Psycho Man, Diablo, Hate Monger, Red Ghost, and his 8 Super Apes, Mad Thinker and his awesome android, Puppet Master. Good God, what a rogues gallery. Hey, and a blind man shall lead them. It's one of the greatest issues of the FFL, and they even did a. And JD Lewis said, Glenzer, hello there. Frightful Four. Yeah, great. Good to see you, Glenzer. And yes, they even did they adapted that story, a blind man shall lead them. In the 90s FF cartoon, of course, which is just terrific. But anyway, this is just an awesome book. I need to read it again. And the blind man shall lead them. The Battle of the Baxter Building. The Betrayal of Ben Grimm. What an incredible era. What an incredible era. And I agree with the book talks about how this is a transitory period for the series right here. I agree. First of all, yeah, the comic's already really good. I mean, here you go. But somehow, some way, after a few years, starting around, I mean, it was maybe a couple issues before this though, but I don't mind him starting right here as far as a transitory period. This comic just its best years, in my opinion, for the Fantastic Four start right here. He's starting right there. I kind of say, yeah, I think I agree with him. It says, and the blind men shall lead them effortlessly, surpassed everything the series had achieved up till now. It was the magazine's most dramatic and sophisticated tale to date, and readers got a glimpse of how majestic Kirby's art looked, as embellished by the master inker Frank Giacoia. Sorry, D-Bud. Gia, you're right. Oliver Belmonte says, I'm glad Jack Kirby created one of Superman's allies, Detective Dan Terrible Turpin, Turpin of the MCU, no, the Metropolis Crimes Unit, not the other MCU. He had no powers, but he showed he's a tough guy, old cop. Dan Turpin looks like Jack Kirby. He does indeed. That was on purpose. And he died on the Superman animated series, And they did a tribute, Kirby tribute. Hunger Boy says, I adore the Joe Sinnott stuff and think that's the best, but I respect the Chick Stone years. Yeah, Chick Stone. I agree absolutely with the Chick Stone did an excellent job. I concur wholeheartedly. Like I said, I prefer the Sinnott. I mean, that's just me. But I'm with you there, dude. Yes, the Prisoner 3-parter and with the Doctor Doom story. Matthew Pounder. Matthew Pounder. I'm sorry. My Phantom Outsider says, yes, he did. He did Journey into Mystery for a lot of it. Pre-Thor, then he did Thor for a very long time. I don't think he did it for as many issues as he did Fantastic Four, though. But he did it for a long time. Like I said, that's probably maybe his second longest run. Chick Stone's work on FF and Thor is second only to Sinnott, if you ask me. I heartily concur, D-Bud. Oh, yeah, of course, better Chick than Vinny. I mean, Vinny, ugh. So while I have you here, Hungry Boy, and again, by the way, before I continue, again, I highly recommend this great book. Obviously I can't show the whole thing. It's not my place to show it. I don't own it. I own this digital copy. I don't own the book, but you know what I mean. It wouldn't be. I can't. But I do like to plug these guys as much as I can and recommend their great stuff. If you can find a physical copy of Lee Kirby, The Wonder Years, aka Jack Kirby Collector number 58. It is a great read. And very, very informative. So, let's see here. Great stuff. Let me go back to Mike's Amazing World for a second, Hungry Boy. Because I think you might find something interesting. Okay. Let's play a game. These top 100 creators in terms of how prolific they were in comics. No, you won't. It's not an Hungry Boy. You're good, bud. That's not an Even though my avatar's dark side, I'm not evil. Wow. Gotta not do that. No trip wanker yet. Not that yet. Not yet. But okay. So what this does is it aggregates numbers. It ranks 1 to 100. Right. The most who did the most work in comics of all time by pages and stories. So I'm going to let everyone play a guessing game here. Who would do you think the number one writer listed the writer, and that means most pages, and in fact they're going by most pages, not most stories, because number one has, for example, the number one guy has more pages than the guy number 2. The number 2 guy has far more stories than number 1. It's kind of weird. So who wants to guess who number 1 is? Take a wild stab. And again, it's prolific. Doesn't say who's the best or any of that kind of stuff. Volume of work, and they're counting pages over stories. They list how many stories are there. I'll put it to you like this. The number 1 guy has 36,941 pages, but he wrote 1,716 stories. The number 2 guy they list says 36,057 pages, but 4,526 stories. So it's weird. Okay, can anyone guess who the writer is? I'm going to give, oh man, you got to give a no prize to D. Bud Martin, even though I know you meant to say Thomas, not Timmis. You are correct, sir. Roy Thomas at number 1. That is very well guessed. Now I can share it. D. Bud, that is top of the class there, brother. Roy Thomas at number 1. They got Stanley at number 2. And that's because of credit boxes. He didn't have. How can you have that much fewer pages? Only that many fewer stories, but he's got that many more stories than Roy, but he's got less pages. Yeah, Roy was the obvious. Yeah. Roy wrote a lot of stuff. The Rascally one is up there. Okay, here's the weird part. Now, I'd like to get your opinions on this, Hungry Boy, and all of you, and D-Bud, and Phantom. When you get to when you change the search to artist, it gets weird. When you change the search to artist, well, hang on a second. I'm going to cover it up first. Who wants to take a stab at who comes up at number 1 when you change it to artist? Artist now. Who wants to take a stab at artist? No cheating. Larry? Nope. Believe it or not, artist doesn't have Kirby at number 1. On the artist list, they got Kirby at number 5, which is ridiculous. You won't believe who the artist is. Sorry, Hungry Boy. I didn't know. The thing about Joe Gill, Matthew Pounders, he didn't get credited a lot. But you're right. He was prolific. Okay. Artist. I mean, this is just crazy. Michael Esposito. That's Mike Esposito. Scott Hanna, Stan Goldberg, Vince Coletta, and then Jack Kirby. Vince Coletta, folks. So that tells me I don't know. I would love to talk to the guys who make this list, because what are they counting as artist? So you can refine the search to penciler. I'm going to refine the search to penciler. That's key. Because see, when I click on Mike Esposito, we all know Mike Esposito is an inker. I'll get to inking in a minute there, Matthew, but okay, here's the thing about that. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. All right. Mike Esposito obviously did a lot of art in the 50s. And then after that, if you look at his list, right around 1950 something, All the guy ever did, according to the list of all of his works right here, if it's accurate. His first, hang on a second. His first 4 credits are artist. And then you go down, and that's like 1950. When you go down his entire list after that, inker, he's inker forever. So they're listed, and yet they're counting his inkering as artist, which is ridiculous, in my opinion. Put him in, there's an inker category. Why not have him in just inker category? So that means, yes, he's worked on more comic book pages than anyone else. 99.9% of them have been inking. 22,932 comic book pages, which is extraordinary. Almost all of it inking. And 2,172 stories, all of which was inking. So on a technicality, he's worked on more comic books than anyone else. But he only did a little bit of pencil work. See this thing here? Here, look at this. This will tell you something about this list. If you look at it, the first 4 credits are artist. Marvel Adventures number 6, Two Gun Western number 7, Wild Western number 15, Girl Comics number 9, all for in 1950 for Marvel, which means Atlas. They're being lazy and calling it Marvel. After that, from 1951, look at this. Inker, because I've always seen him as an inker. Inker, nothing but inker. I mean, he inked, inker. Look how much stuff he inked, which is fantastic. You know, it's great, no? He was a competent inker. I mean, never did any other. He's not credited as full artist on anything. Worked on Archie comics. Some of those are reprints. And they're putting reprints on there. That doesn't friggin' count. So that doesn't work because I got a bunch of his, reprints. So it's bogus. I love Mike's World. And guys, I hope they don't, I know they don't listen anyway, so that's fine. They're probably not dogging them out. But come on now. So let's refine the search to penciler. If you're going to be weird about it and do that crap that you're doing with the inker thing, we'll just go ahead and redo the search to penciler. It's not really a list. It's kind of an aggregate, Hungry Boy, but they're counting. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So here we go. Let's go penciler. If you're going to be pedantic and call artist and then list as artist and inker, because why would you do that when you have one for penciler, inker, letterer, colorist, cover artist, cover penciler, cover inker? So they've got. Why would you put just plain artist there, like an aggregate? It doesn't work. So we're going to go penciler. That means right. Here's what happens when you go penciler of the top 100. Okay, who wants to take a stab at number? No one's going to get who number 1 is. Ace Cast Iron, what's up, brother? Good to see you, buddy. Who wants to take a stab at number 1? Who do you think? And again, remember, this is not a best list. It's a list of who's done the most comic book work as a penciler in all-time comic book history. The number 1 is a guy this is penciler, pencil work. Some stuff they may have inked too with pencil. The number 1 guy's got 21,888 pages and 3,776 stories. These aren't opinions in the sense, though. I mean, they're not really opinions that way, but okay. Who wants to guess? Anyone guessing on number one? Greenberg guy. Who's that? No guesses at number one, or I guess I could just tell you. Ace Caster guesses Jim Aparo. I love Jim Aparo. Listen, where does Aparo on this list? This is a 100 list now, and this is just by volume. This is no opinion on who's better, who's worse. Aparo did a lot, and Aparo's at number 37 with 6,749 pages and 357 stories. Any guesses at number one yet? Joe Staten might be in the 100, Ace. Let's see. Joe Staten's probably in the 100, but I can't find Joe Staten. Yeah. Where are you at, Joe Staten? I can't find Joe. I don't think Joe's on here unless I move the thing too fast. So I don't see Joe Staten on here. I would have thought he'd been on. Oh, I found him. I moved too fast. I'm sorry. Joe Staten's at number 17. Joe Staten has, just to give you an example, 9,748 pages with 573 stories. So, yeah, you called that one. Joe Staten's on there. All right. My eyes off the screen when you do that. So it's just volume, yes. Which Buscema, Matthew? I'm sure both Buscemas. Well, anyway, who wants to guess number one? It's not okay, I'm just going to tell you because I wouldn't have guessed it either. Number one is Stan Goldberg. Here's the problem. When I click on it, it's taking a second to populate. When I click on Stan Goldberg, who passed in 2014, I get weird stuff like it says inker, artist, penciler, artist. So it's true that Stan Goldberg touched more comic book pages than anybody. Goldberg was a Golden Age artist who he did a lot of stuff for Marvel before they were Marvel, Atlas, and stuff like that. I mean, he was born in the Golden Age. I mean, actually, it was more like late Golden Age, early Silver. And he's listed as artist. I question this, though. Then he went to Archie forever. I think they're counting reprints and shit. So I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I am going to freaking disregard this. He did a lot of Archie books. Glenzer, Wallywood. Let's see, where is Wallywood? Wallywood should be on here somewhere. So number two, the right spot who should be number one is Jack Kirby. And this is not, look, Goldberg inked a lot of stuff. He did a lot. I mean, he's listed as a colorist in some case. Inker. I mean, that's nothing. But see, every single page that Jack Kirby touched, which is 19,021 pages, 1,519 stories, all involved Kirby plotting, writing, creating, drawing, sometimes inking, sometimes not. Okay? So it's not even close when you think about, again, these are naked numbers. It's not even close when you think of, what Kirby did. So Jack, and right below him, I mean, you could certainly buy Kurt Swan at 916 pages. And Kurt Swan didn't do a lot of creating like Jack did. He just drew things. See, the thing is, they don't factor in is that these other artists, see, they got the word penciler there. That was the only way to make this search work. They've got penciler. Jack's number 5 when you boil it to artist, but number 2, really 1, but 2, penciler. So, and Jack, unlike a lot of these other artists who are great artists and stuff, Jack always participated in the creative process, co-plotting with people, scripting in some cases, a lot of cases, creating the stories and the concepts and the characters. So that 19,021 pages, that 1,519 pages were far more than anybody else did when they just drew a comic that was handed to them from a script or what have you. Although some of the other guys working the Marvel method did a lot too. Leafield? I don't know. Let me see. At number 4 was John Byrne. Number 4 is John Buscema. 5, John Byrne. 6, Gene Colan. 7, Sal Buscema. I can't believe Carmen Infantino's at number 8. That's high. Gil Kane's at 10 at least. Not a big Mark Backley fan myself, but I can't believe John Romita Jr. at 11. That blows me away. I'm just shocked. Can't believe it. What are you doing? The site went wonky on me. Okay. Now, again, at writers, look at the writers. Roy Thomas is believable. Stan Lee's not. He just put his name on everything. That's exactly right. Ace Cast Iron. It's a good point. The Archie stuff doesn't count. It's too. I mean, they're counting reprints. Gardner Fox way down at 15. Man, Jesus. So interesting on the writers list, though. This is top 100. That's not a lot. There have been a lot of people that wrote comic books. Jack Kirby was always called an artist, right? So Jack Kirby is on this list, I believe. Of comics that he's credited writing. Now, again, he's always called an artist. They've got him at 92 because he didn't get. This is the comics he got credit for writing. 7,468, and that's 400 and that's pages. So 496 stories. The pages thing's silly anyway, to be honest with you. I know why they do it. Pleasant Valley Picker, good to see you. Let me guess. No, Russ Manning. I don't think so. Let me find him. Let me look at if Russ Manning is on Penciler. I'll check artists for Russ Manning. I like Russ Manning. He didn't. I mean, you talk about a lot. You had to do a lot of comics to get on this list. Nah. I'm sorry, dude. No, it doesn't look like Russ is on here. So let's look at inkers for Hungry Boy. How about you want to look at inkers, or would that upset you? Hungry Boy, you're not going to get upset if we look at inkers, huh? Good night, Chris. Have a good one, buddy. That's very true, Matthew Pounder. Add the Marvel method of writing, and the list will be very different if they took that into account. Okay, let's go for inking. I got the go-ahead from Hungry Boy on that one. Okay, inkers it is, pal. All right. Who do you think is the number one inker? Well, the number one inkers are they had Michael Esposito at artist, so you know he's going to be inker. So, who do you think he's inker at number one? Who do you think the number two inker is? You're not going to guess it. It's crazy. I got a friend of mine, by the way, who made this list on the inkers. Matthew Pounder. No, it's a weird one. It's a guy that I barely heard of. I mean, this guy didn't start inking until 1989. So the number two inker is Scott Hanna. So again, it says he started in 1989. He's inked 22,449 pages. That's 976 stories. So let's move on to the big names that we do know. So since Michael Esposito, I'm not sure what the hell's going on with that. I mean, well, they're just counting every page he ever touched. But he inked a lot of comics. No question about it. All right. They got a Michael. I always thought it was Mike Esposito. Scott Hanna, that's kind of a strange one for me. I mean, from 1989, and he's got that many comics he's inked. I mean, that's insane. So, okay, well, Hungry Boy knew him. Great guy, great inker. I'm happy. Well, that's good. He's number two, and that's a lot of. I mean, that guy, he must still be working or something. I don't know, because that's a lot of inking, dude. I mean, it says it started in again, I'm looking at his page. It says he started in 89 on Doom Patrol. Number 20, to be precise. And I've seen his name all over the place. He's just an inker, which is cool. A friend of mine's on this list, by the way. I got a friend of mine who's actually on this list. His name is John Dell III. So let's go with number three. We're going to start with the big names that we know. Who wants to take a guess at number three? Because we got the other ones were unusual. You guys keep saying the name, the dreaded name. Let's just go ahead and admit it. Yeah, number three is your favorite and mine. Nobody's favorite at all. Vinny. Oh, boy. Vinny Coletta has touched 20,926 comic book pages. That's 1,623 pages, boys and girls. Yeah, like 30 girls here tonight. No girls. But we wish there were. I say again, because I've not spread enough misery in the world for comic book fans. Vincenzo Coletta or whatever, Vinny Coletta has inked 20,926 comic book pages. And that's 1,623 comic books. Dwell on that for a little while, why don't you? He was the speed buggy, right? Yeah. Known alias Sue D. Nem. Oh, God. Started in 1951 for Atlas. Not Marvel. They weren't Marvel yet, damn it. I keep just all right. So, see, they're counting reprints. I mean, compilation books. You got to stop doing that. See, that's bogus crap. All right, look. So that means I have to go in here and look at the stuff and their cutoff point. When did Vinnie Coletta? I'm not sure when he passed away. Okay. No. All right. Inhuman Special. Okay. Marvel Superheroes number 11. That doesn't count. Those are reprints. Marvel Romance Redux, but that's reprints. Everything after a certain point of freaking reprints. You guys can't count the reprints. It's not fair. It doesn't work. Stop counting the freaking reprints, jerk-offs. You're not jerk. I love those guys, by the way. I love them. I'm not mad at them. I love Mike's amazing blog. Jesus Christ. Don't count the freaking reprints. And what I mean by that is at a certain point he was going and they got a bunch of some compilation books and they're counting. You can't do that. You can do whatever you want. It's your blog. But so it's weird. Okay, here's some of the surprising ones. Number 4, Tom Palmer. I mean, good Lord. I mean, I never knew he did that much stuff. Tom Palmer, 17,302 pages, 816 stories. Now, Dick Giordano, I can believe it. Dick Giordano, 15,077 pages, 781 stories. Hooray for him. Of course, you got Joseph Rubinstein's done a ton. Klaus Janson. Some of these other guys, Joe Giella, Mike DiCarlo, Romeo Tangal, Tony DeZuniga. Wow, I can't believe Joe Sinnott's all the way down at 17. Terry Austin's all the way down at 23, dude. Wow. All right, JD, take it easy, buddy. We're about to get out of here, too. So, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to show that. I've been wanting this when I looked at this today doing research. I've been wanting to talk to Hungry Boy about this all day. So. Yeah. Most of it's legit, but you can't count the reprint books. So what surprised me the most, I guess it shouldn't surprise me, is how low Murphy Anderson is. Murphy Anderson all the way down at 62. 62, man. 6,600 and oh, that's a weird number too. 6,606 pages, 526 stories. So. Yeah, it's freaky. Okay, we'll get out of here in a second. Let's see here. Who wants to see? I haven't we're gonna be surprised together here. Want to look at who's done the most covers? I don't know. Place your bets because I didn't look at this one yet. Cover artist, and then there's cover penciler. I'm gonna go with cover artist first. Whoa. Place your bets, folks. Place your bets. Who is the most prolific cover artist of all time? Clobberin. Mark D, what up, dude? Oh, God. You're watching Sandperson, I see. Okay, who wants to make a guess now? The number one, who's done the most comic book covers of all time? And it's almost by like oh man, it's almost by like 200. Almost 200 more than the guy after him. Any guesses? Trina Robbins. Get out of here with that. Well, what's wrong with you, hungry boy? Okay. Matthew Pounder wins the day. Jack King Kirby. That's who. The King himself has done 1,997 covers. I'm surprised at number 2, Dan DiCarlo, but yeah, not really, because he did a lot of Archie stuff, right? I guess, and that's a lot of prolific work. Next guy is 1,723. Dan DiCarlo. That's fine. I mean, I'm just surprised, but at least the great Gil Kane is in third place with 16,164. The great Dick Giordano is in fourth place. Poor old Stan Goldberg, who was winning a lot of stuff, was in fifth. Joe Kubert at 6. Wow, I didn't think he'd be that high. Al Milgram, Alex Ross, Kurt Swan gets into the top 10, and that some weirdo named John L. Byrne. I don't know why I keep putting the L in there. John Byrne is number 10. And there's my boy. See, John Romita did do more covers than he did other stuff, so John Romita made it at 12 at least. So that's a list right there for you. Pleasant Valley, Gold Key. They're not counting by publisher; they're counting by the artist. So let me see if a Gold Key artist is on this list. That's a good question. Let's see here. Wow, Romita Jr. is closing in on his pappy at 15. Let's see. I mean, at number 15. Let's see here. George Perez at number 18 with 785. Wow, the great, fantastic George Perez. I didn't realize. I mean, yeah, that figures because he did a lot of covers. So. Hey, Neil Adams at 17. The two of them back to back, and they passed back to back weeks. That's weird and sad. But still, 805 covers for Neil Adams, 785 for George Perez. The great two just giants of the field. Terry Austin at 661. Bill Sienkiewicz. John Buscema. I would have thought John Buscema would have been higher. Murphy Anderson at 600 covers, 29. You know what I'm weirded out about here? This can't be right. Okay, I'm already down to. I'm down to. Shite. Here we go. 30. And I'm still not seeing Nick Cardy. Ross Andrew at 37. Still, no, Nick Cardy's got to be in the top 100, or I'm calling BS. Come on, Nick. This is, I mean, wow. I can't believe this. Bill Everett's at 89. That makes sense. A good friend of mine, John Dell, the third, he's at 379. Wow. Oh my God, no Nick Cardy? One of the greatest comic cover artists of all time. And there's no Cardy on here. Did I miss it? What the hell? Huh. All right. I need to go back. Did somebody say Alex Ross was on here? I must have missed it. Oh, I was too busy focusing trying to find Nick Cardy. You're kidding me in the face. All right. Let me go back here. All right. No Ed Hannigan either? Well, all right. I'm going to go back to 100. And then just 100. Kevin Nolan. 99, Bob Oxner. Even though it's just Robert. Doug, number 98, Doug Mankey. Number 97, Saul Brodsky. Number 96, Dave McQueen. Dick Dillon at 95. I'm just going to check these again. Wow. No Nick Cardy? Bob Layton got in at 81. That's nice. Jerry Ordway got on. I thought Ordway would have been higher. Jay Lee got, Jay Lee's got 413. George Klein's got a bunch. Most of these are top notch. Well, Herb Trimpe's got 425. Oh, my boy Mike Grell's got 430. I wonder if that's updated. This is usually a very credible site, though. Actually, Pleasant Valley Picker. Some of the stuff I would have some some questions, that I would have for him. I don't know who runs the site. I use it all the time, and I love it. It's a wonderful site, but nobody's perfect. Let's just say that. And I'm not saying they're wrong about anything. I mean, just no Nick Hardy. I guess so. But they aggregate it from their info that they got. So, and he had to be close to the 100. I mean, I don't know, man. That's weird. Did someone say Alex Ross is on here? I don't think so. Is he? No. Let's see. Rich Buckler. Murphy Anderson at 29. Oh, there he is. Okay. They put Nicholas Peter Cardy. I thought I was going nuts, man. Don't you tell me Nick Hardy on here. He's the number. He's at 27. That's respectable. Okay, thank you. I feel better now. I'm an idiot. Matthew Pounder, you said Alex Ross did more covers than Swan. Is Alex Ross on here? Maybe I missed him. Is Swan on here? See, I got to look closer. I didn't see Alex Ross. Is he on there? Did you say you saw him? Yeah, Mike Allred, your favorite Hunger Boy. Did you say, Alex Ross is in the top 10? Okay. Well, I'm blind as a bat. Alex Ross has done 1,059 covers. And Kurt Swan's at 1,020. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. He's sure done a lot of covers, so I'm a little shocked he's that high, Matthew. But not shocked that he's high up, just a little that he's that high, yeah. I'd have thought Perez would and even Adams would have been a little bit higher, but holy crap. Ramita Jr. at 15 and his Pappy's at 12. I hope, and he's going to catch him someday. Man, I don't want Ramita Jr. catching his Pappy on this thing. Well, what are you going to do? Well, what you going to do? Cover artist? Yeah, well. Anyway, folks, guys, fellows and gentlemen, and great folks and friends, really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I know we didn't do much, just talked a little bit about some Kirby characters and some Kirby art here and some art there, and not much of anything, dude, but you hung out with me doing it, so I appreciate you. Some great friends and stuff. Let's see some show notes. Again, I might try to hang out, hopefully, with the boys over at the Midnight's Edge tomorrow night, if I can. But other than that, Wednesday, the Comic Book Roundtable, Loki's Comic Roundtable has returned. And it will be... Oh, thank you, Cal. Wow, man, dude, I forget. Let me do that. Thank you so much, buddy. Loki's Comic Book Roundtable has returned. And we'll be talking about Image Comics. I mean, the history of Image Comics. And now, I guess, and a few other things. Comic-related. And then Wednesday night, I will do my usual wild card Wednesday night. It'll be a Kirby wild card for sure. And then Thursday night, Clobby's Clubhouse will be at a special later hour at 10 p.m. Central rather than 9 p.m. Central as it usually is because of something I have to take care of. And Friday, I'll be at the comic shop with Nick and the gang reviewing Nova for the third straight week. We're going to finish that up with the great D-Bud Martin as well, and Nicholas, D-Bud, and Ironcaster, and Pablo and maybe even Fenrir. That'll be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I've been really enjoying it, I should say. And then Saturday night Star Trek is back, my friends. As always, and having a fantastic time doing that. So, in the meantime, let me read our poll. 37 votes, folks. The question was, which Kirby topic do you prefer? Kirby cartoons that could have been. That wins the day at 37%. That's going to be fun. In second place is Kirby's most obscure comics at 24%. And there's a tie between Kirby's greatest splash pages and Kirby's Fourth World. So I'll probably do the first two for sure. I'll try to do as much as I can with all of them. So probably a wild card from a week from the wild cards this week. Next Wednesday, I will probably throw in some of that Kirby's cartoons that could have been. Looks like was what we will do. And thank you so much for that, Kal-El. I appreciate you, bro. I needed that. I needed to be reminded of that. So, my goodness. But anyway, you all rock. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to play us out with these. Again, Mark D with the seat. Thanks for popping in, bro. Hope you're doing well in spite of what you're watching. The great Eric K and the great Chris Persia, thank you so much. And Kal-El and D-Bud, and Hungry Boy, all your wrenching is really appreciated. Hungry Boy, thank you so much. Phantom Outsider, brother, thank you for being here. Glenzer, Oliver Belamonte, Kal-El, I know Matthew Pounder, Pleasant Valley Picker, the Comic Relief Crusader. I'll get everybody shout out as many as I can. I can't remember everybody. Of course, J-Man, the great J-Man, JD Lewis, bunch of great friends who were here with us tonight. I hope I didn't miss too many people, but I can't remember everybody who was here. The great Ace Cast Iron was here, though. My good friend Larry was here. Good to see you, Ace, by the way. I can't remember everybody. I was checking back a little bit. I know Chris Persia probably had to run. So, anybody I missed, I'm gonna start writing these things down, getting them better. But I hope I didn't miss anyone. You know, is anyone out there listening and lurking? Oh, Dadman popped in. I think he's lurking. Dadman, hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you. And anybody out there who's just watching this on a repeat. On a download, as they say, on the download. Oh, Masters Maniac Mexico, good to see you. Oh, well, Masters Maniac Mexico, it's always a pleasure to have you pop in. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Purple Valkyrie did pop in earlier. Good, love you, Purple. I'm sure it's very late for her over there. But thank you. And let's see, it was another gentleman popped in. A couple of other people have popped in, but the names elude me at the moment. Some new folks. And I want to thank anyone who's new here, who's popped in for the first time. And I'm only drawing a blank because I'm old and senile. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you throughout the week. So you got through Monday. The rest should be a piece of cake. So I'll play out with these marvelous messages and then credits, and we'll get out there. As always, hail to the great Stone Loki, and have a wonderful week, my brothers. Larry, thank you for the 199 super sticker. You were too kind, my friend, and a big shout out, of course, to the great Steve Mitchum, who had to leave earlier, and anyone else I missed, I apologize. It's just my brain fry. But a gentleman popped in who said he heard about me on Gary's stream. Sir, I'm drawing a blank. I can't find the chat name on it. But I thank you for being here. And Keely Chow was there too. Roll Tide, Keely Chow. So, everyone, thanks again. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. And good night, everybody. And good night, my friends. Sorry, I had to say that one more time. There we go. Now we're good.